all you icons to the Indie Pod Daily Show. I forgot to click the thing because I was doing the thing with the hands. I'm Super Joe Pardo, and this is our back-to-back doubleheader Training Thursday episode here on, what's today's date? The July 23rd. 23rd already. The summer is like just slipping right past us as we speak, and it's not even August yet. So with that said, I'm Super Joe Pardo. This is the Indie Pod Daily Show, and on today's episode, this is a Training Thursday. So I am going to be meeting with one of our icons from the icon community. If you're not in the Indie Podcaster community, go to indiepodcasters.com/group, join the Facebook group, get set up, introduce yourself, and get involved. Because we have so many awesome things like, hey, this is coming up on Saturday. SEO for podcasting, live. It's free. It's virtual. It's me, and it's a few other I think we have 4 speakers that will be speaking on Saturday all about your SEO for your podcast. I'm pumped. I'm excited to talk about my experiences in podcasting and SEO and all of that stuff. I see Tim, Jovel the Joe, Jovel the Fun. Thank you so much, Tim. Oh man, is it just me or is it really warm here? I'm going to turn the air down a little bit and disregard the air conditioning in the background. So so this episode is brought to you by Supercharge Your Podcast. Turn your podcast into your business, build a stronger community, make more money, gain more notoriety. You can check it all out over at superchargeyourpodcast.com, and you'll get to work with me one-on-one and do things like what we're doing here today on Training Thursday. And if you want to get a free ride to that, then you should totally go over to indiepodcasters.com/tube, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will be picking a subscriber from the brand new Indie Podcasters YouTube channel to get a 1-month free ride into the Super Circle. All right. And also, hey, if you want to get featured, if you want your podcast featured, you should totally go to grabalisten.com and fill out the form, and I'll be starting to pick those next week. I was going to start this week, but this week's already almost over, and it's been kind of crazy and hectic leading up to another conference that we're doing. So anyway, this episode on this Training Thursday features our guest, our icon, who is looking to learn more about their podcast website, which is perfect because ding ding, we're talking about SEO this upcoming weekend. So this falls right in line. I love when content just lines up like this on its own. We are talking with Super. I forgot to ask her how to say her last name. Super Amber Cullum. Cullum?
You did it. You did it right. That's right.
I did it, Cullum. Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome. Ding, ding. I'm happy to hear that. Amber, how are you feeling today?
I feel good.
Yeah?
See, you think summer's slipping by, and I'm like, let's get summer over with. I'm ready for the fall.
Oh, man. No, because then the kids can't go outside. Well, I guess in fall they could, but then that means winter's almost here. And
but where do you live?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, yeah, I live in Raleigh, so it's really nice even in the winter.
Oh yeah. Okay, then I would, if I lived in Raleigh, I probably would feel the same way because it's probably really, really hot where you're at.
Yes, right now it's miserable.
Yeah, it's going to be like 90 something here today. It's not great. But anyway, so you how long have you been podcasting for, Amber?
About a year and a half. I guess we're getting closer. Yeah, a little bit closer to 2 years now, but a year and a half. Yay.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How has the journey been for you so far? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an interview podcast, and so I've really enjoyed getting to know people through interview and just interacting, learning all about podcasting. So that's been great. Just building your listenership is really, really hard, but that's why I watch trainings that you put out and other people.
Oh, thank you.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
That. So I'm on your website right now. Grace enough. Yep. So let's see. A podcast designed to encourage believers that God can use you to impact His kingdom, no matter your story. He does the changing, the transforming, the redeeming, not us. It does require daily surrender, faith, and trust, but we must remember His grace is enough. Okay, great. I love the name, by the way.
Thank you.
I like how you tied that in as one of those cute things that like, cervical circle.
Circumferential, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe
Circular.
something like that. Yeah, it is. It's a circle thing.
That's right.
Because it brings brings it right back around. So I know I definitely love that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So okay. So what with your, and I don't have my notes in front of me, unfortunately. No, I don't have my notes in front of me. So what with your website, what was it that you were looking to accomplish with it?
Well, I want to make sure, like when you go to my website, do you really, number one, feel like it flows well? But also under my resources, I would love to be able to almost put those, see, those are, it's very minimal there, but those lines, I wish I could make those almost like separate stores. Does that make sense?
Separate stores.
So it would be like where it says prayer, that would be one square, and you could tap on that, and that would take you into another page that would actually then show you each one of those separately.
Like on Amazon, like an Amazon like listing. Like if I typed in like books. Like this. Like
Yes,
this?
very similar to that. If there's a website that's a really good example, Risen Motherhood, the way theirs is set up, I love it. Watch, you'll go there and it'll be totally different now. But I think it's either under their resources up top or their store, maybe recommendations. Okay, if you see that, they have all of those things. And when you click on it, it'll take you into almost like a whole section of resources that just are based on that topic. Does that make sense?
It does. So you have it similarly set up like that now. It's just everything's on one page.
Right.
Versus, but I mean, I would argue that. Okay, so I mean, at least they have some text here, but like this is just a lot of pictures, which isn't all that helpful for Google. I mean, you could put in your tags, like your. Let me see, inspect.
Well, see, and that's what I don't even know. I don't know that I have.
Like, do you have your alt text set up?
I have no idea. This is why I wish I could hire people like you, because I don't know.
Well, I mean, it would just, at least it would give a way for. Okay. I didn't even notice it. They did have, at least on this page they had it. Oh, maybe in the other one they didn't, but they didn't up top. So down here they have at least some text explaining what each page goes to. But there's, I don't know, some of the SEO things I've heard, having pages with like endless links isn't very helpful. To Google, because Google's like, oh, is this a real thing or is this like a spam thing? Like you're just trying to like link out a bunch and make it look like you're, because I actually had to go and retool my what do I call it? Press page. I was thinking promotions. I don't know why promotions was coming to mind, but I had to retool my press page because of that, because I had like an endless list of like this, right?
Okay.
Like nothing but links of all of the interviews that I've done. So what I did was I went through and I had a blog post for pretty much every single interview I did, and I put them into I moved them all into one, or I took that category and I just put it onto this page, so you could go through like every single one of those interviews. Now the way that you have yours set up, I would look at doing, let's see, tell you what, this is in WordPress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So without being able to log into your back end, tell you what, would you want to send me your login information, and I can log in, I'll take my screen down, log in, and then I can walk you through, because what you could do is you could do a post type that could enable you to create a post for each of these and then list them in like a blog. Well, I don't know what theme you're using, but or if that theme.
I use Elementor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's I've used that before.
I'm not at all opposed to sending you my login, but I typically log in through GoDaddy, and then that's.
Oh, okay. So you don't have like if I just went to WP-admin, or you don't. I mean,
I do.
Yeah, so that's.
See, these are all the things that I need to have in front of me,
so this
right
way
now.
Yeah, so this is why you wouldn't have to go back to GoDaddy. Like you shouldn't have to go to GoDaddy at all unless there's a problem for the most
Yeah.
part. So yeah,
Let me
if you
see.
use that WP-admin, so your site your site.com/WP-admin, that'll take you to the login page, and then you can you can log in there. Yeah, Element. Have I used this? I know I've heard of it before. I'm like somewhat confident that I've used it.
Sorry, I'm just looking here to
No.
see
It's all
what
good.
the login is.
So depending on the theme that you have, like it might actually be pretty easy for you to do this, where you can because I mean obviously you have a blog, right? Let's see the
Hmm.
podcast. How do you have this laid out? Where's the maybe you don't have a blog
Yeah, so if
set
you
up?
go
Oh, okay,
underneath
here you go.
show notes,
Show notes. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I see it. So like what you could do is you could depending how like because this doesn't have a picture like yours right now doesn't have a picture, so I don't know if the setting like the theme that you're using offers that or not, like to be able to
okay,
have like a featured image at the top,
right,
kind of like well how I have it set up here, because like
yes,
literally this is what I would think that you are kind of looking for. Like maybe you hide the date because the date isn't going to matter, but you have the name of the name of the book, name of the resource, picture of the resource, and then you write like a little blurb about it, and then you link that to Amazon. There's actually a way for you to do it. There's a plugin you could use where you could you probably could write all the stuff that you want, and then when they click on it, it doesn't actually. Well, you probably shouldn't have so many links out on one page anyway.
okay,
And if anybody that's watching feels differently, please like feel free to correct me, because this whole SEO thing it's changing a lot all the time. And if you want to learn more about SEO by other experts other than just myself, then you should totally join us July 25th for SEO for podcasting,
right,
the
ding,
next
ding, ding.
live, yeah, right, next free live virtual conference over at indiepodcasters.com/virtual. Yeah, so this way, so what it would allow you to do is basically put in like a little blurb if you depending on how it displays, obviously. So like you would see the blurb here, you'd see the title, which the title would be the name of the resource, and then you have the featured image, which is the picture of the resource, which you
Right,
already have here, right? And
yep,
then when you there's the plugin. I'm gonna have to look up the name of the plugin because I haven't used it in a while,
okay,
because I use Pretty Links mostly now. But there's a plugin that'll enable you to put a link in, so when you click on that, it could take you straight to that Amazon page. But like I said, I don't know that would be the best way to do it. I think the best way to do it would be to create the post around that. Maybe
okay,
write something about why you think it's an important resource, because like other than this blurb up here, there's no real
nothing,
explanation other than like, oh, it's prayer. Okay, cool. Why? Why should I
okay,
care about each of those books? Like, what's your personal recommendation to those books, or what's your connection to those books? So then, basically, you just created like a whole bunch of blog posts, which is great because then Google like knows more about your site and knows about who and should be getting those pages and all that.
okay,
Yeah, so I would do that, and then in there you put your link to your Amazon. Now, are these Amazon affiliate links?
they are,
They
and it
are,
should be,
okay.
mhm. And then at the
Yeah,
bottom, I think it's in
at the
there
bottom, the affiliate
somewhere.
links are used and appropriate. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So that's what I would. That's how I would handle that. Is basically creating blog posts. You create a category for those blog posts called like resources, and then
Hmm.
you use there's plugins and ways to do it, but basically you just want those blog posts to show up under resources. So worst case scenario, you could take the category, like if I hit edit page on here on my press page. I have access to a blog tool, and then I can excuse me. I can pick a category to just show on that page of those blog posts. So like that's how I do it here. So
And
like,
that's how they all end up underneath.
Yep, because they're all categorized, and then I show just that category on that page.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's effectively what you're going to try to accomplish is create posts around those, only show those resource categories. And the way to do that, if you don't have like a easy way to go find or to display those blog posts on that page, the easy way to do it is to go to the posts, go to categories, and then you can actually just pick a category.
Okay.
Like here, I'll pick DJ, right? And then I just click view. And it should take me to, that category. So like, this is what the default view looks like for that category. So that's how my theme is set up. So like, technically I could take that and just like link my resources page or my press page up at the top
to that category,
to that category link. Yeah.
Okay.
So then at the very least, then you at least have that. And then I think if you put in a description, I think it actually might show up in there. So like, this is a test of the DJ category. So like, if I save that, okay, so if I go back, was that your kids or my kids?
I think that's your kids, because my kids are actually at camp this week.
What?
I know.
Wow. Oh man, that is definitely my kids. I thought it was. So I was sorry. Yeah. So okay. So if you put something in the description, in theory, it should show up. It should show up here at the top. So like, you could technically design like a page, like put your explanation that you already have here, since it's pretty simple, simplistic, and put it up in there, and then boom, you got yourself an easy way to get that what you're looking for, as long as you have it set up to show your as long as you have an easy way to show your featured posts. I don't know how your theme is set up, but yeah.
Okay. I think I can figure that out.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I mean, at the very least, you'll have what looks like this. Like, however you have this page set up is pretty much how you want to set up your resources page. So you kind of have access to it already. It's just a matter of whether or not you'll be able to put the featured images there.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you should be good to go there. So what else? What else can I do for you? Explain.
Well, if you
demystify.
When you're thinking about a podcast and going to someone's page, do you feel like as you navigate through mine that the things that you would be looking for are there?
Well, I'll tell you, these subscribe buttons are kind of annoying. I saw that you have two of them. You have one that came up on the side and one that came up in the... Is this on like a time release, or is this on a...
It was originally set up to where it should only come up 3 times and then should not come up anymore.
Well, you might want to check those settings. Maybe they've gotten reset or something. I've had that happen to me just countless of times, where you think something's set up the way it's supposed to be.
Well, yeah, because it used to have like one of the Grace Enough photos on it, and it doesn't. So I will check it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's not going away, huh?
Well, no. It's behind your images.
Okay,
That's so crazy.
That is strange.
Yeah. So, I think that when it comes to the podcast page, I think this is good. But that's right, because in the show notes you are putting the episode in there. So the newest episode, or is it the specific episode?
Yes.
Because it's like 70. Well, that's okay. So 76 is okay. So yeah, so that's good. That's good to see that you have that that you have them in there. I mean, it's a little different as far as like breaking it up between the show notes and the podcast. Um, I mean, generally, I would like what I would do is I would put I would just put the show notes at like at the bottom here,
Okay.
like so like you're just like you're scrolling down, or just so that like the play button's at the top. I would also consider using Pat Flynn's Fusebox
Okay.
plugin, since you're on WordPress, where for free, I mean, you have a pretty strong color scheme, so you might actually need to pay for it to change the color scheme of the plugin. But
Okay.
but either way, it puts a play button at the bottom of the newest episode at the bottom of every episode or every
Okay.
page. So like here, I have my newest episode like right there, boom, play button. I think the only
Gotcha.
thing about the color scheme is like the green. Like I don't know if you can change the green without
Okay.
paying for it, um but yeah, so that's definitely something I would look at doing, is just to get an additional play button in front of people that are going to the site. I like that you put instructions here, especially if I don't know if your listeners are strong in the the ways of podcast.
Not all of them.
Yeah, right, right. So no,
That's why those are there.
no, I think that's really good. I think that having that instructions, I would even like maybe if you could shoot a video or something, or find somebody's video,
Yes.
and like pop a video like link or something, or even just put like a small one, like a small clip right there that they can full screen later.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good idea because I've done that before on my social media, and people have said, "Oh, it's so helpful to see how I'm supposed to go and do that." Because it's
well,
amazing how
especially
many people don't even know. Like on your iPhone, that little purple podcast button, like it's just there. As soon as you open that baby up, it's there.
Yeah, yeah. And also even on Android, like there's the Google Play that has
Yeah.
podcasts in it too.
Yeah.
So I mean that might be an easy way to get in there. Um, looking at your artwork, the only thing I would say about this, I like it a lot. The only thing I would say is you might want to make the words bigger, because
Okay.
when you start to look at it like small, it gets hard
Oh, yeah.
to read. That's the only thing. Like you generally want to make the words as big as possible, especially because there's so much space that you're leaving on the table there.
Yeah.
So I would look at like just making that slight tweak to it, make your name a little bit bigger. The width maybe not so much, because that part, it's not important, but the grace enough, and then your name. I would
Okay.
definitely leaving a lot of space on the table there for that reason.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can read the grace part, but it's the enough that it's a little hard. You might end up when you make the enough bigger, it might not be so bad, but it's a little hard to read that too. I
Okay.
don't know if that's coming up. Like I can see grace, the enough kind of gets blurred in, because remember you're looking at it on like the little, little phone in most cases.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
so I would definitely consider making that bigger, and maybe I don't know about bolding it, but maybe just slightly heavier text, just so that it's a little more pronounced.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think it's good. Yeah, like I said, I would consider just taking the show notes page and putting that here on the podcast
Okay.
page, so it's a little more cohesive. Um, but I
Okay.
Oh wait, how do I get to your past episodes?
Okay. Oh, that's a good question. I'm glad you said that.
Oh,
So this is something, no, I mean, that was something I was looking at recently. So I had the only thing that I have available right now is the search. So it doesn't help because I've had a hard time figuring out how to put a plug in or something in there that does take me beyond, I think it's 12 that are up there.
hmm. So the term is called Page Nation.
Okay.
So, Page or Pagination. Sorry, Pagination.
Pagination. Okay.
Yeah. So it's also known as paging. So like that's the term of like the down here at the bottom of Google, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes,
7, 8, or how I have like 3 pages here.
that's right.
Yeah. So
So
that's
should
the
that
term
just
that you're looking
be
for. It
so should
should.
that just be in WordPress?
It should be in whatever you're using to create this. Like, because
Okay,
yeah, that's really unfortunate that people can't flick back further. I mean, the
that's
good news
right.
is like um your playlist here. Oh, does your playlist only shows like the 9 newest
Uh,
episodes?
that's a good question too. That's my widget from Podbean, and they just
Oh, okay.
started doing that. So,
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I
okay,
personally
that's
haven't
good to know.
use Podbean, but I have a lot of friends that have, and they've been good, good sponsors and partners and events and things I've done. Um, so maybe reach out to them and find out, like,
Yeah,
if it's not a simple setting. I don't totally, wouldn't totally discredit that because, like, having a super long playlist, I don't
yes,
know how effective that is either. Like,
right.
because I have one, so where you can scroll back, like here on here, like if you click this 3 lines, like you could scroll all the way down. Actually, no, wait. You know what? This isn't even. Oh, this isn't even all my episodes. This is only the last 300 episodes because the RSS feed only carries 300 episodes.
Oh yeah.
So that, yeah. So but for 10 doesn't make a lot of sense. Though there's an icon in our community, Shell. She only has, I think, 70 episodes of her. It's like she hard limits her RSS feed to 70 episodes because she doesn't want over, like,
Oh wow.
um it's a I can't think of, like a Zen kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't want like overload, like, because I think that's what the actual podcast is about. It's like mental, like
Clarity and
clarity and stuff like that. So like
minimalism.
she just landed on this idea that, like, yeah, 70 episodes is enough. Like, you can go by my website and find them, all the old episodes, but like in the feed, 70 episodes is enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
I mean,
I'll look
I
at
don't
those things
know.
then.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just at least one example of somebody that's doing it a little differently. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I I mean, I've seen all kinds of solutions like that. Like, I know, was it John Lee Dumas? Like, when he got past like 300 or 600 episodes, he just started creating separate feeds for like Archive 1, Archive 2, Archive 3. So it was
That
easy
is
for people to
crazy to
go.
think about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, once you get to that number, like, I mean, even me, like, I have 400 episodes of the one show, and
Right.
only, unless you go back to my website, you're not going to get them. But it kind of does bring up an idea, like, it gives me that thought, like, what if I did push people to go back to the site and have to invest in them consuming the show? I don't know. To me, it just depends on your audience and
Right.
who you're trying to, like, attract. In your case, if you're putting subscribe how to subscribe to your phone, then every episode, I think, it could be helpful,
Yeah.
to helping
Right.
the cause,
It all just
versus
depends, right?
limiting it. Yeah, yeah, it definitely does depend.
So then with
So what else?
SEO and not to take away from this weekend, but like in
No,
the
no.
show notes, what are some, quick tips for show notes that you would say, hey, do these things. They're easy and quick to help with that.
So first off, are you using Yoast SEO?
I'm not.
Okay, definitely get on that.
Okay.
That's number one, because that's pretty much what I'm going to be covering is Yoast SEO. And if we have potentially one of our SEO experts who's like blowing up on the internet is going to be joining us. I think
Awesome.
I gotta work it out. She did a talk before, um, at one of our virtual events. And you can get all those talks over at indiepodu.com with over 150 plus hours of resource videos. Just go to indiepodu.com, and it's only $10 a month currently. So, yeah, so she's going to be like probably really good at getting deep in the weeds. So Yoast SEO allows you to, actually, let me just show it on my site here. So if I go, Yoast is a lifesaver. Yeah, it is. It's not the end all be all. You don't have to use Yoast to get good SEO, but what it does is it kind of gamifies the SEO process. I want to show a good example of that. So I'm gonna pull up my charge my guest charge my guest post here from my site, which is right. I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So what it does is it tells you whether the SEO is good and whether the readability is good, and it basically, like, if you click down here, SEO analysis, like, it'll tell you like, hey, key phrase and introduction, your key phrase or its synonyms do not appear in the first paragraph.
Okay.
So like, okay, great. I need to go back to the first paragraph and like rewrite that paragraph so that the keyword, which is written up here, charge my podcast guests, is in there. Key phrase density. The keyword only was found one time. That's less than the recommended minimum 8 times. But just because it's less than the recommended doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because like if I take this, I'm going to open up a incognito window, charge my podcast. Oh, look, I'm in the 0 spot for that topic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all, but it helps give you some clarity on what you need to do to get a post to rank.
Okay.
And like a lesser good example of that is let's see how to start a podcast in 2020. Because I have an ultimate guide that I wrote, but if you don't type in the words ultimate guide, I don't even rank in the first page.
Oh, yeah.
So like ultimate guide. Oh, see, if I type in ultimate guide, here's the TLDR, independentpodcastconference.com. Oh, I hope this actually loads. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, so I gotta fix that because I just recently changed over the domain name from independentpodcastconference.com to indiepodcasters.com, and that is that's a problem. Now I don't know if anybody's looking for how to start a podcast. Let me just type in like how to start a podcast ultimate guide. I'm not there. So I am there though. So it's not terrible. I mean, like, but it's not also how to just that hard. It's really hard how to start a podcast, right? That's going to be the hardest to get.
And the Yoast SEO is just a plugin that's super easy to put in, correct?
Yep. So Yoast SEO, YOAST SEO. It's just a plugin. It definitely helps. It enables you to also do some things like change your social, like your Twitter image versus your Facebook image.
Okay.
So, and you can also see like this is what it looks like when I go into like what it's going to look like on Google, right? So I can hit edit snippet and I can actually change the text that people are going to see and read there versus just letting it auto generate the text from like the first 2 sentences.
Okay.
So yeah, and then like I said, like here's all the good, so outbound links, good, internal links, key phrase length. Like you're basically just going through and like checking the boxes of like what do I need to make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's man, that really bothers me. I'm going to work on fixing that today. I'm not even sure how to necessarily go about fixing that. Truthfully.
Me neither. There's so much.
I have to I think I have to go to Google Search Console and then change it there. Actually, I'm going to write a note so I don't forget. Update Indie. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah. So that'll help. That'll definitely help. And then not only just with the show notes, but like adding all those resource blog posts like will definitely help.
Okay.
And then make sure you have internal, like it'll tell you like, hey, make sure you have an internal link. So then you can like link that back to like a podcast episode or pop that podcast episode in there. So another play button for people to just like, oh, let me click it and like give a listen, even if they're only going to listen to like 2, 3, 4 minutes because they're sitting on their phone or they're sitting in a computer. They're not in that I'm going for a walk or I'm going to do the thing when I listen to the podcast thing.
Right. Okay. Those are some practical tips for me to work on for sure.
Oh, great. I'm glad. Ding, ding. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, what else? What else
Well,
could you use the help with here?
oh my goodness. I feel like there's so many things, but then I feel like you also have talked, like you talked to whoever your guest was on earlier about just growing the podcast. So I don't expect you to go back into that again.
Yeah, you
I'll
should
go,
totally go listen
I
to that
will.
episode. Not you, but the people listening or the people watching right now should totally go back and listen to that episode with Heather Bayer the first of the doubleheader growth. But that's the thing is like it's always a little bit different though. Because every episode and every person has a different like clientele, different
Yeah.
everything it just brings to the table. So even though like I could talk about growth all day, because if I'm talking to different people, they all kind of need to do a little bit different things with what they already have to just move the needle that much
Well, then
quicker.
you
And
can
that's
talk
really
to
what
me
it's
about it.
Okay, so how do you what's your process in putting together the episodes? Do you spend a lot more do you find that you're putting more time into putting the episodes together, the research, or like putting like marketing the episodes, or like where do you feel like you're not moving the needle enough at?
I think marketing. I mean, I definitely feel like I do adequate research with the interviews. I feel like I do a good job connecting with the guests. I do think it's more marketing. And then it's so interesting because in 2020, things have just shifted now. So even the way we marketed a year ago might not have the same effect that it does now. And so it's just an interesting time.
It is. Yeah, everything is a bit different, and even like obviously social media isn't necessarily enough. Getting in front of people, going to conferences, going to events, putting
Yeah.
maybe putting together flyers, those types of things can really help, at least just raise awareness. I know a lot of like when I was getting started, like I'd be like, hey, Amber, yeah, you need to subscribe to my podcast. Just give me your phone, and I'm just gonna. Okay, there you go. Now you're subscribed to my podcast.
It took me a while to get the confidence to do that, but I've definitely done that more recently. Like, oh, you don't know how to do it? Well, here, let me see your phone. I can show you. It's real easy. I'll even look it up for you.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's definitely things like that and obviously touching people's phones is not my favorite activity, especially like usually in general, but more recent.
Yes.
But it's one of those things that's like getting sometimes I think we as podcasters get hung up on the whole digital thing, like everything's digital, like the social media and how we market's digital and all that, and to me a lot of it comes down to like the one-on-one interactions with people and growing those relationships, because those relationships are like, oh, I love Amber, I'm going to go tell two friends about Amber
I
and
do
Amber's
think
podcast.
that. Yeah.
Like that's why like the end of most episodes of the shows that I do is like, hey, if you got something out of this, like go to the person that go to the podcaster in your life, go to the business geek in your life, go to the blah blah blah, and tell them about this episode, because I'm not asking you to like go here and share this post, or go here and hit that share button or whatever, because like that might not be how they consume the content, especially if your audience is comprised of a healthy amount of people who just don't really get it. Like they're doing it, but they don't really understand what they're doing. They're just like, I got the result of I listened to the show, and this is, I don't know, it's just Amber took my phone and she put it on there, and that's great, and I listened, and but I don't really understand the process of like how I get like what I do next, and really the process is tell somebody else about it, right?
That's right.
So I think what's your goal with the podcast? Because I think that also controls a lot of what your growth direction needs to be and look like.
Yeah, I mean, because mine is a podcast about faith. And so that's, I mean, it can be a little bit of an oversaturated market, but I really
So can
do.
everything, Amber.
True,
so
true.
Can literally, like, have you looked up at Disney podcasts? Like, there is literally
I
hundreds
have.
of thousands. Like, it's insane.
I can't believe that. That's what I tried to tell somebody the other day. I'm like, listen, there are podcasts for everything. There for everything that you can think of. I mean, I know a lady who does a quilters podcast. Okay, it's a podcast about quilts.
Susie Chase, who ding ding icon, who was just on Monday, right?
People love it.
Cookbooks, like it's niched inside of a niche.
Yes, that's right. So, anyways, my ultimate goal really is for people to see just how like God works in a variety of ways in people, different ages, colors. It's more of raising an awareness of that don't think that this little tiny hub that you live in is the only place that God works, because it's not. And so that really is my goal, to open more people's minds to the reality that, different cultures, different preferences, all of these different things, God can work in their lives.
Yeah.
And so we share stories and different things of, people all over the place that have to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, so this is just I don't want to say just, but this is a passion project for you?
It is.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, so I mean, to me, I think word of mouth is probably your best bet, right? Because it just enables people to, like, if you push it, like, okay. So here's the question: what do you do at the end of what's your call to action at the end of every episode?
So I try to do different calls of action. I've done share with your friends. I have done, follow along on social media for extra, just contact day to day and conversation. And, subscribe to the newsletter. But I don't know. I mean, I do feel like my most effective one has been, will you share this with someone that you think would benefit from it?
I was wondering, because of the whole faith connection, right? Would it benefit you to do like a monthly like Zoom call with your listeners?
Yeah, it could.
Like, just to get that face. I mean, especially right now, like any kind of face-to-face time is appreciated. but just because of the fact that, like, then they feel, it makes them feel like that deeper connection to, like, the mission that the other people that are listening are real, right? They're there and all that. And that works. I mean, that might not work for every single person that's listening, right? We're talking about growth and like how it's different for every person. But I feel like, because like people are used to going to church, right? They're used to having that. It's not just about God. It's about the people that come together around the God thing, right? So it's about that. So if you could bring that aspect of it to them, and they resonate with that, and like, it's okay, like the first 2 times you have one person show up or no one show up, but then the third time you had 2 people show up, and then they bring 2 friends, and like literally now you're like, hey, come and join, and we'll celebrate God, or we'll talk about this specific topic for this week, this month. And it just gives people an opportunity to, like, really feel connected. Because I think podcasting can feel really solitary, even though like we're having a conversation right now, but we're live streaming. So we've had people popping in and out and watching and commenting and stuff. So this is a little bit different than like traditional podcasting, where it's it's just you and me, and like that's it. Like, whatever you bring to the table, whatever I bring to the table, that's it. There's no outside influence. So being able to, it kind of feels like a disconnection a little bit. But then again, you could just as easily say it the other way, right? Like, because we have people that are commenting and watching, and I'm playing to both you and the audience. Right. The person listening isn't necessarily feeling like they're being attended to, because they're not there live.
That's right.
But my goal is to get them to watch it live, so they can feel that way, right? I want you to feel that dopamine there, like I gotta show up live, I gotta be there live, I gotta comment, I want to get involved, I want to get that shout, I want to get that ding ding. Like, that's what my goal is for. But I think you could really do something good with that, like, because with Zoom, like, you can have 300 people, so it's not like you're gonna.
Right.
Hey, that's a good problem to have.
So here's my question with that. If you do that as a call to action, and there are times when people are listening and that time has already passed, because people come along and listen to your episodes like so much later, does that really matter?
So I would say pick a day and do like fourth Thursdays or second Tuesdays or whatever, whatever the kids
Yes.
are doing at the bars. Like that's the, second Tuesday or
Okay.
first Tuesday is this,
So that
when we
no
get
matter
together.
what, it,
So no matter what, as long as the show's still operating, like every first Tuesday, you're gonna get together and do the Zoom call and connect, and they're gonna be like, oh man, like think of how great of an experience I'm gonna bring two friends with me because. I mean, that's kind of how churches grow, right? Like
that's right.
they wouldn't have grown very well if people went and they had like a bad experience or they didn't have that feeling of like, I got to bring somebody else with me.
Right.
Not just because I feel uncomfortable, being my first time or second time or whatever, and I don't know anybody, but just because I had such a great time, I got to
Yeah.
bring somebody with me because they
That's
got to hear this too.
that's a good perspective. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think that could really, really help. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily work for every niche and every
Right.
podcast out there, but I think they would resonate with that.
Yes.
And want to be involved with it. So yeah, I would I think that might help grow that base. I mean, how many downloads have you gotten so far, if you don't mind me asking?
Total? No,
Yeah.
not at all. 31,000.
That's pretty darn good. That's for a year and a half in. That's awesome. Like that definitely is ding worthy there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think I haven't seen a lot of extra growth since like my first few months, but it has stayed very consistent.
So that's an average of 402 downloads per episode. You realize
Yeah,
like
so
the
I have
average show.
77
Yeah. No, I know.
episodes.
I know.
Okay.
That's incredible. So like the average show is like I think like 130 or 140 downloads per episode. Like the,
Okay, that
like, the
helps.
average like yeah, right? So you're doing better than that. Like you're doing a lot better than that. Especially because
Okay,
you
that
only have
helps.
77 episodes. Like and I say only, but like you're at
No, I know
episode
what you
77.
mean.
So like that's incredible. Like that think about if you had that many people in a room. I mean, right now
I know.
wouldn't one like that, but like in general, if you had
Right.
400 some people in a room, like that's a lot of people.
That is. Well, and that's a good perspective too, because as I'm looking at when I read my statistics,
Hmm.
I can get in a really bad habit of just looking at, what did that episode get on the day it launched? And
Yeah, some
and
shows aren't going to have that.
yeah, and I probably need to back off of that because when I do what you just did, I'm like, oh wow, that is a lot more than I thought. Because what I'm thinking is every Tuesday, I get, about 100 to 130 people who listen that day, depending upon what's going on.
That's great.
It doesn't, but it's been that way from the beginning. And I'm like, but I want to keep going up. And so that's
Amber, go back to like Christmas, December 25th. Go back to like January 1st. Go back to like any holiday, and you're like, July 4th. Geez, like it just passed us,
Yeah.
right? And look how many downloads you got that day. And feel
Good
good
point.
that people said, you know what? I'm going to open my mind to Amber.
Thank you. That helps me.
Right? And,
Yes.
and it's still like it blows. I can't really tell you how many. I mean, I've been doing this over 6 years. So like every Christmas, like I go back, like I look back at the Christmas, and I'm like, look how many people said yes on Christmas Day. Like they had
Wow.
nothing, even like Christmas Eve, because people are busy on Christmas Eve, and especially if you're Italian like me, like there's all the dishes and all that stuff. So you look at that and it's just like wow, like look at like 100 downloads that day. Like I
Wow.
still like or 200 downloads that day, and it's like. Yeah, okay, it's not like a million downloads, but the point being is
Yes.
100 people said yes on a day that should be pretty important for the most part to most people.
Right. That's a good point. Thanks.
Yeah. So you gotta put it into perspective. And the other thing is don't worry about your initial downloads. Here's why: because unless your goal is to get sponsorships, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It does not matter. The sponsors are the only ones that's going to care about that. Yeah, it's nice to see, and it's a good barometer of like, oh, more people subscribe because that means that they're their phone's downloading the episode like
Right.
to their phone the day that
Yes.
it comes out. So that's not even necessarily a great barometer of how many people actually listened. You know what I mean? Because like the
Yes.
phones download, I get it too. Because like when I put out my episodes, I get like 40, 50 downloads like that, like within a few hours, right?
Yes.
And then
Okay.
they
That's
start
good to
build up
think
over
about
time.
too.
Yeah. So again, sponsors are the only ones that are going to really care about that first 6 weeks of downloads because like that's what they want to see because they have a message and their message is time sensitive. But if you're creating
point.
more evergreen content, which I kind of think you would be, given that it's about faith and faith isn't like
Yeah.
changing to the next new big tech thing in faith is not coming out. September is the big tech month.
We don't have Bible 2.0.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's not as time sensitive, so I wouldn't get all caught up in that.
Okay.
Especially for you and for most podcasts, but especially for you, because it's just not important. It's not worth spending your time. Your time is way more spent getting that monthly call together. What are you going to talk about on that monthly call, and how are you going to get people to that monthly call so that you can spread your message? That's top of mind, number one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's
welcome.
helpful.
So when you're 400,000 downloads,
I'll be like, it was Joe. It was Joe.
Like, this is it. Like that's what you need to be worried about. Like stats are nice. Everybody wants to see them, and try to figure out like what was the thing, like why did all of a sudden it go down a little bit and then it went back up. But people's lives, like you also got to remember, like people might be fans of you, but that doesn't mean that they're going to listen to every episode.
That's right.
Like there's
and I've realized that with my listening habits, right? I mean,
right. So there's people you're fans of that you just don't get around to listening to every episode or watch every episode or like, you could be a big fan of this person, but it doesn't mean that you're going to go and listen to them every single day. I used to give the example of Michael Barkan here in Philly because we're a big sports town. So like he's a sports announcer and he was on the radio for a number of years and he did Philly Daily Show Live or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fan. I got to meet him once. We walked from one of the stadiums to the other stadiums. It was so cool. Like it was surreal.
Yeah.
Like he just happened to be walking out, and I was like, this game's garbage. I'm out of here. And I just happened to leave, and they were like, oh, see you, Michael. And I was like, that's Michael Barkan. I was like, so we talked all the way to because he had to go do the post game live, post game live after the fact. So it was cool. Like, but doesn't mean I'm going to listen to every single thing that he does. I'm not going to be,
right.
I'm just not able to, especially because I don't have cable now, or I haven't had cable in a while. But
Neither,
so yeah, right. So yeah, so just remember that it's not the end of the world. You're only a year and a half into this thing, and the only other thing I always say is like I don't know how much do you spend a lot of time editing your show?
Not compared to what I did in the beginning, but still
good.
Still more than I would like because I have children that I'm like, I just want to get done. But no, it's down a lot.
So one of the secrets I always do, and I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but edit backwards. Do you ever hear that before?
No, I don't. Well, you maybe.
So what I do is I don't edit at this point I'm pretty much doing live streaming everything. I just don't have time because I got two-year-old and a 4-year-old. So
Ding,
basically
ding, ding. I know.
Yeah, right. So what I do is if there's something that I feel like needs to be edited out, maybe somebody said something, maybe the dog barks, maybe whatever it is, just take your pen, put it to paper, and write down the timestamp in which that's happening.
Okay.
And then when you go back, just edit those times backwards. So start at the end of the podcast, edit backwards, so it collapses and the times always stay in sync. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden you're like, and just let things go because, like, let's face it, Amber, you're already a year and a half into this. You're almost getting close to 2 years. 2 years from now, is the hour that you invested in editing going to make a darn bit of difference in the big picture? Probably not. Now, I mean, again, Write backwards. So if there's a, knock at the door or you had to stop or whatever, like just write
Right.
those times, and then you don't have to scrub through. You know exactly where it is. I know where I started, I know where I stopped, or at least about where you started, where you stopped.
Okay.
And bam, like now you just went from like, oh, I took an hour to edit this, and now you're like, it took me like 10 minutes because I just clip and put it on its way.
Nice. Yep.
You
I haven't
know,
heard you say that, so I will do that.
that's good. Good. Hopefully, some more. It's good. I'll keep saying it because it's super important. It's helped me get through. I wish I could get all those hours back. I spent so many hours doing podcasting. It was,
I know.
or not podcasting, podcast editing. I missed out on trips basically because I was so busy, like focused in for doing 5 days a week and editing these things. And ultimately, it didn't mean people shared it anymore. It ultimately didn't mean anything. It just meant
That's right.
that I was investing a ton of time to save like 1 minute per episode on an hour long episode. And it's like, I mean, even if 1,000 people listen to it, I saved 1,000 minutes. But the fact of the matter is they're already committed to listening to an hour. So
Right.
what's 1 more minute? Like, or what's 20 more seconds that, the ums or the ahs or whatever,
Good
it's
point.
not
Good
going to
point.
matter. Not going to
Yes.
make a difference, and at some point, when you're running like some kind of mega church based off of all this, and you can hire somebody like, hey, you edit this up and make it sound really, really good, then, spend that money and make that happen and give somebody a job. But don't give yourself too much busy work. It's not worth it. Spend your time
Awesome.
getting your message in front of more people. That's the most important thing that you can do. And you'll get better at talking too, right? And you'll
That's
get
right.
better guests. Like that's what I noticed. As I went on, I stopped having all my friends on the show and my extended networks, and like got like these really good people that know how to talk. Not I don't mean like that, but they know how to talk on the
They're
mic,
more
right?
used. That's
Yeah,
right.
they're
more
used to talking on the
being
mic.
in a right
Yes.
conversation
Yes.
without the They can think on their feet a
Exactly.
little bit quicker.
Yep, exactly. So,
Yeah. Well,
all
thank
right.
you.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for coming on this training
Absolutely.
Thursday. I gotta go because I am now
Yeah.
2 minutes late for a podcast. I'm being interviewed, so
Awesome. Well, have a blast, and thank you so much for your time.
thank you, Amber. I really appreciate it. And if you've enjoyed this episode of the Indie Pod Daily Show, please share it with somebody who's into podcasting or wants to be in podcasting. Go to indiepodcasters.com. If you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want to get on a training Thursday, I forgot to mention this in the last episode. There's a lot of call to actions here. If you want to get on a training Thursday, go to indiepodcasters.com/TT. And sign up, pick a date, time, and come work with me. If you want to work with me more one-on-one, go to Supercharge Your Podcast and learn how to build your podcast into your business. And if you want to get a free ride into that super circle and supercharge your podcast for 1 month, go to indiepodcasters.com/tube. I could go all day. All right, Amber, thank you so much
Thank
again.
you.
Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your summer, even if you want fall to get here sooner.
Will do.
2021. That's what I'm waiting for.
I think most
at
of us
least.
are.
Take care, everybody. I will be back tonight at 6:30 p.m. with Eric Hunley of Unstructured, talking all about YouTube and podcasting to YouTube for a Wisdom Wednesday on a Thursday. So there's that. Everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your day.